All right. For the first question, I thought that the survivors exchanged names of their loved ones in order to find any common relationships was meaningful because it shows that people actually care about their loved ones and still have compassion for human life. And I personally found that the third act it was a bit startling because it seemed that all hope in humanity was lost, and the Simpsons episode seemed like a distant myth from the past. For the second question, one theme that was prevalent in the play was fear. For example, the characters seemed distressed when Gibson first joined them because they feared he was an intruder, and they were still shaken up from about the impact of the disastrous event. This leads into the second theme of intrusion. The characters don't let anyone just like intrude on their circle. They have to exchange 10 names of people and their relationship to those people so they can kind of like get a sense of whether or not to trust them. And this relates to the final theme of collective memory. At the beginning of at the beginning, the characters were trying to recall lines from the Cape Fear episode, but no one could really remember the entire thing. But once they combined all of their pieces, they could remember everything. For the third question, the play in Act 3 is an epic musical. There's a chorus saying the names of people who were lost in the disaster, and there are musical numbers and dialogues of what the characters in Act 1 said. Act 3 is kind of like a mashup of the first two acts in a way that it combines what the characters could piece together from the Cape Fear episode from Act 1, and then it combines with the theatrical performance that the characters put on in Act 2. The dialogue from the survivors in Act 1 is used, the recollection of what happened in the Cape Fear episode in Act 2, and the theatrical performance in Act 2 they all relate back to Act 3. And the significance is to show how the myths and legends kind of began and how like a simple storytelling can turn into a grand production. Like 75 years later, the world of Mr. Burns has been changed completely from people suffering from a nuclear disaster to a play about what happened in the past and has been distorted to fit the entertainment needs of that society. Okay, for the last question, it just shows about zombies, like The Walking Dead could live on the past apocalypse because they're like a pretty big part of popular culture today, and people are fascinated with the idea of the dead coming back to life, and they could be meaningful because they represent what our society is infatuated with. And that's it.